Hello and welcome to the Voice of Your Passions business interview series. I am here live with Donna Ashton of Work Less, Make More, and we are going to dive into her passion, why she does what she does, and she has a free gift for everyone today. So stay tuned on how to receive her gift. Welcome, Donna. Thanks for being here.
I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm going to read just a little bit of your bio, and then we're going to jump into the first question, which always is, why are you passionate about the work that you do? So, Donna is a business efficiency guru who's made it her mission to rescue service-based entrepreneurs from the quicksand of endless to-do lists. That that's enough for me. I've got it. But I do love what you do, and I especially love the fact that you talk about a 4-day work week, or no,
Weekend.
weekend, a 4-day
Yeah.
weekend, which is a 3-day work week. So I'm assuming that is connected a little bit to why you're passionate about your work. So can you dive in and tell me more?
Yeah, I mean, I think it started just from my own, as many of our things do. Like I just didn't want to work so much and then I had children and I decided to have my own business and I was homeschooling them and I just didn't have a lot of time. And as I created my business, I saw that I was creating a business that looked a lot different from a lot of my friends and colleagues. They were working so much and so long hours. And I was kind of like, okay. I mean, I did go into a one to many model right away, which was very different than what most people do. But I think over the years, I've kept it that way. Even as I've changed businesses and I've added things, I've always been a real advocate for not having to work so hard. Like, why do we have to work Monday through Friday? Why do we have to work from 8 to 5? I've always been trying to find the shortcuts and the hacks and the easier, more simpler way to do things. And that's what I'm really passionate about. I mean, I have been working with online courses and programs for over 15 years, but when it comes right down to what the passion and the reason is that I want other women and other service based entrepreneurs to have what I have, the freedom and the flexibility to not be chained to their desks and not have to do so much and start working nights and weekends. And it's really, I want them to have their business fit into their life instead of the
Mm.
other way around where we're just snatching an afternoon or one quick weekend and then we're right back to the grind. And I feel like that's not what we're meant to do. And I think after the last few years that we've realized that there is a better way to do it, that we don't have to
Mhm.
do things always the same way. And so now it's just helping people look at their own businesses that they've created because many times they've backed themselves into a corner. And it's like, how can we start untangling that and giving them more space and more time to really be the queen bee in their business?
Yeah, I mean, isn't there a joke about when you become an entrepreneur, you work twice as many hours for half as much pay?
I know we all have these visions of grandeur, right? Like, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to work from Italy. I'm going to do all this stuff. And then it rarely comes down to that. And, especially at the beginning. But then I think there's a time where you're like, okay, how can I shift this? This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, and I happen to know this about you, so I just want you to talk about it just a little bit, that you have a flower farm.
I do.
And so that's what you're doing on your 4-day weekends, right? So tell me more
Yes.
about that.
I've always been gardening for over 30 years. And when I officially went to just working Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I was like, well, what am I going to do the rest of the time? I mean, I always have a lot of passions, but I had decided to start a cut flower farm. So about 2 and almost 3 years ago now, I started off a little flower farm I only have about a half an acre, but still, it's been very exciting and not always the most leveraged in growing flowers, but I love it. It's like my
Yeah,
passion. I call it my passion project because it is like a labor of love.
that's what I was gonna say. It sounds like a passion project to
It
me.
is not a lot of money in growing the flowers, but it's all the beauty and just the fun
Yeah.
of like, hey, can I do this? Can I make money with this? And it's been really interesting to see, all of my skills in my other businesses and putting it into this. But again, it's just something that I do on the side that I love and I would do it anyway.
I love that. I love that it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with your coaching. And then you can have another, side business if you'd like
Yeah.
to, but doing something you so love. And I really connect that too. For me, it's singing, right? So I have an a cappella group and we don't get paid a lot of money, but we have a lot of fun. And so that's what my weekends are for. So I love that. So tell me more about the transformation you provide your clients on the coaching side. What does that look like? What are they saying when they come to you? And then what are they saying after you work with them?
Yeah, I think it's really like these people who are super overworked, overbooked, overwhelmed, like all of
Mhm.
that. And they just don't even know where to start. The
Mm.
idea of having a leverage course or a program or having 4-day weekends or even 3-day weekends or even any weekends sometimes
Yeah.
sounds great, but they're also like, I just don't even know where to go. I've tried some things before and I keep coming right back to the same place. I keep getting
Mhm.
myself backed in the same corner. So I think it's like someone else has to take a look at what you're doing, right? Because
Mhm.
you can't fix it with the same mind, right? That you
Yeah.
created the problem. So it's having someone who thinks a little bit differently, who has experience in really running a business. The only way I've ever run my business is in that way. So I don't find myself falling back into those patterns because I don't have those patterns. So it's like, how can we really take a
Yeah.
look at the front end of your business, your team, your schedule, your business model, the delivery? How are you doing all of those things, and how can we simplify and how can we take, not necessarily blow up your whole business, but start in a way? Think of it like that snowball. Like, let's find a few, like an hour or two in those cracks so that once you have that hour, maybe it's just 1 hour a week, but that 1 hour, you can use that to gain more hours. Like, okay, how can
Mhm.
we now move this? And then it starts to snowball to where you've got a little bit more time and now a lot more time. So I think one of the biggest things that people are saying is they've got some time to think, because you can't
Yeah.
make these $1 million decisions and be this big CEO if you are just in the weeds working, putting out the
Mm.
fires, right? It's really
Mhm.
hard to come up with, write that book or do this big event or start speaking or whatever these big things we want to do, because you're so busy putting out the fires, you don't have the time, the space, or the bandwidth in your brain to even come up with anything, or you kind of get started and then you're right back into it. So I think it's giving them that space to think and be, and
Yeah.
just simplifying what they're doing and letting it be okay to let go of some of these things that aren't really working in their business anyway.
Yeah.
And the permission slips of kind of like, okay, I can do it a different way. And this is going to be a lot better for me, for my business, for my health, for my family, and
Mhm.
for my life.
Yeah, really hearing you speak to two themes, which is space and simplification. And when those two things are present, then you're able to actually be more efficient, get more done, create more impact with the actions that you're taking. And I really do feel a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with I need to do more in order to get more instead of I need to do less in order to be more efficient. So, can you
Yeah.
give an example, a client who you've worked with that has
Yeah.
had a success story?
I definitely can. My friend Kim came to me. She was working basically 7 days a week. She's a great branding and website designer, but she was like, just had her computer with her at all times. Even if she was like on a Sunday watching Netflix or football, she was constantly working. She would take vacations, always taking her computer with her, never getting time off, and
Mhm.
always doing something. So we started working together, again, chipping away at getting someone to hire her first person, getting her team going so that she wasn't responsible for everything, getting rid of some things that she didn't no longer need to do. Soon she was taking, probably after 2 months, she was taking Fridays off, which was huge, huge for her. And this past summer, she went on a vacation and she's like, I only went on my computer one time for an emergency, and it was only for about 15 minutes with my like her OBM, her VA or whatever. And she's like, that is huge, because usually she was taking that thing to the beach or then having to go back to the hotel. So we really streamlined her offers and made sense with what she was doing, looking at all the parts of the business so that she could have something that fit all together and that represented her in what she was currently passionate about, and her current prices, what they should be, and really made sense. And we've also created an online program for her to give her another stream of leverage income that didn't mean she had to do another logo or do another web page. So she has more of a balance in her business and not just everything being delivered by her.
Yeah. I love the power of delegation
Yes.
and then leveraging. I talk about, I ask myself every week, what can I delegate? What can I delete? And what can I delay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that creates space. All of a sudden there's
Yep.
space created and it just feels so much better to be in business when you can do those things. So do you have a tip for us that you'd like to share that will help us in working less and making more?
Well, I think the first thing to do is really look at where this is one of the biggest things. Look at where the money is coming from, right?
Mm,
Many times we spend a lot of time doing things that is not moving that needle. And the bottom line is, where's the money coming from? I mean, it's that
yeah,
whole 80-20
good point.
principle of where is the money coming? We may be spending hours a week doing reels and doing podcasts and doing all the stuff that's not really making any difference. So
Mhm.
look at where your money's coming from and do more of that.
Yeah, I love that. And it also speaks to build on what's already working instead of trying to like find more things to add to your plate in the hopes that it'll work. Like, well, what has worked
Yeah,
in the
those
past?
shiny things. We're
Yeah.
always like, let me try this. Oh, I heard this was a great thing. I'm like, but where is
Exactly.
your money actually? Yeah, if you're already getting money and you're already having success, how can you, work through that and
Yeah.
monetize that and make that even bigger, right? Maximize what you've already got going. And
Yeah.
maybe these other things is just a big waste of time.
And even the process of discovering where your money comes from can be so valuable because you may not realize where your money comes from. And so just
Yeah.
that exercise alone can be like, wow, I had no idea that 80% of my clients just came from having networking calls or whatever, you know?
Right.
So I love that. You have a gift for all of us today. Can you describe what your gift is?
Yeah, let me pull it up here so I can read it for you. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like some people don't know where to start, they don't know what
Yeah.
to do. So I'm offering the business CPR, Reclaim Your Time. So let me just come in there and take a look at your business. It's a free 20-minute business CPR session. I will perform a rapid fire checkup on your business model, your team, your schedule, your delivery, and your tech and programs. And I'll take a look and diagnose the critical places, apply that emergency first aid, and sketch out a recovery plan to get your business moving in a better way to supporting you. So you can get that 20 minutes with me and I'll really take a look and say, here are the big glaring holes and here are some things you may not have thought about.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the name of it again? A
Sorry, I
checkup? Was it a
could.
checkup? I want to,
the business CPR.
oh, business CPR. Okay. So to get this gift, I want you to comment under this video, hashtag business CPR. Okay. If you do hashtag business CPR, then Donna will reach out to you personally to tell you exactly how to claim your gift with her. So I want to thank you, Donna, for chatting with me today and this very focused interview that gets right to the heart of the transformation you provide people and why you love it so much. If you would like to meet Donna or other amazing creative professionals like her, you can come visit Empowered Business Networking by going to buildempoweredpartners.com. You'll see all of our Eventbrite events listed there, and you can choose one that works in your schedule. Any final thoughts before we end our interview today, Donna?
Yeah, you are the creator of your business, so you don't have to be trapped. There are other ways to do it and other ways to do your business in a better way. So just a little food for thought there.
Absolutely. You can change your situation whenever you're ready
Yeah.
to do so by hiring someone like Donna.